Hey, welcome back to Cleflin Nights. This is for the gaming that we did 6 December 2016. Not to be confused with the last video which I made and I gave the wrong date. So, where we last left our heroes on Earth 210.2, they were all on their ships. We call this world, this point 2, Black World. And it's a little different than the Earth 10.3.2s because it's totally set up for this second gens Chris and Alex playing in this new future, this new Earth 10. All their ships are out in space heading to this asteroid where there's a Luna device, Fantasia device, and all that. And they're being told that they're going to be there for 2 weeks at least. A variety of things happen on the ships while they have 12 hours, they're told, by their ships that's going to be en route. A little bit of time for the ship. It's really late at night for them, about 2 or 3 in the morning. So they're going to be 12 hours before they get back. And the ship's giving them some time to rest and recoup before they get back to the asteroid. All right. Well, on the starship called Staria, we played them. They were getting ready for bed last week. Now this week they spent more time getting ready for bed. But we were trying to do is the role play the interactions between Chris Ritz's team stars and the different team members, and a lot of them were getting set up inside their bunks. The bunk room, the Lightning ships have bunk room with 2 main bedrooms, and the people that are left over that's sleeping in the bunk room are intermingling, and it's co-ed. So you got Mary Marvel there with Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy, and Wally. And there's a lot, we gave some interactions between them. Nothing big stuck out before they all, crashed for the night. And then over to Alex's ship, the Argonauts. The team is Argonauts, and they're on Alex's ship. John, I think it was his name. Well, they're just dealing with the fact that they have Mindy McCready on board. Mindy McCready was from Slade Wilson's team, and Alex picked her to be on his clan, if you will. And Bruce is meeting with her, Bruce Wayne, Batman, and decides that he and her and David Alan Line, Prodigy from New Mutants, would spar for a while to get off some of the stress from their day before they would crash for the night. And it was a pretty good fight as we gamed it out. And in the end, Batman takes the heads of David and Mindy and cracks them together and knocks them out and knocks them down. And then they'll go up to their bunks to get healed for the night. While they were sparring and stuff, Charles Xavier and Monet St. Croix formed a relationship. They were about to start one up back in Monaco at her house, but now that they're on the ship, she's decided, hey, I'm going to spend the next couple weeks here, if not the next couple 20 years, because there's that suspicion that they'll be copied and put into a 20-year sort of situation. Monet and Charles hook up, showers, and was gonna. Yeah, so then they all crash, still all in the bunk room. Yeah, Bats didn't get the extra room because Kamala Khan. No, because Clarice Ferguson got the bunk room. So, was that Kamala? No, it was Kamala Khan because she's Muslim and Chris didn't want her to have to sleep with all these non-Muslims in the same room. She's a little conservative. All right, so then we go over to the Omega Dawn, who's they're on their ship Yang. They're handling the change a little bit differently. they a bunch of the members sit in the galley and discuss stories of how they got to where they're at now and what's the ship going to have to do in the future, or the team might have to do in the future. Alan Scott, Megan Morse, Christopher Lord, Calvin Rankin, and Sam Guthrie sit around Christopher Lord and Alan Scott as they're talking or having a couple beers because they're the only real adults. The other, mutants are in high school. So, and then eventually, after the stories are told, they all crash for the night. Well, when the main characters, Christopher Lord, Chris Ritz, and Alex Prentice go to sleep, they wake up. And they're in some sort of time blend. It turns out that they wake up in Varsity of Earth 206. Var City, 2 words. And they're trying to figure out where they're at. They first wake up in these tubes, and it's the clone situation or the switcher situation. They usually wake up in these tubes, like in suspended animation tubes, oxygen to them. They're naked, and they see that each other are stuck in these tubes, and it's all the scientific garb hooked up to them. Well, shortly, Alex senses a time spot and triggers a download. So that would say that he, for a short period of time, had his time spot powers. Quickly, though, he loses them, and when Chris wakes up, he after the download hits him, Chris Ritz, he thinks he's going to use his Starlet powers to teleport, or flight powers to teleport out. Instead, he uses Clarice's powers from his team. Yeah, they have the powers of their team. Only the powers of the team members that they chose first. Chris Ritz chose Clarice, and Alex realizes, he's got Clarice's powers because the way he teleported. Then, and he must have Hope Spaulding's powers, or Hope Summers, as you guys know, which means he can only copy mutants. And the only other mutant here, similarly powered wise, is Chris Ritz's Clarice's powers. So, but before he can teleport out, Chris creates one of these blink shards and uses that to smash open the whatever the tube is made of, plastic or whatever the stuff is made of. Great. And breaks them out. Well, Christopher Lord's waking up, realizing the same situation, but he's also got telepathy because the first person he picked was Megan Morse. Megan Morse, Martian. He goes, I'm just going to phase through the plastic tube and get out into the this science lab's floors. They get out there, all three of them, and realizing that they're not wearing anything. For Christopher Lord with Megan Morse's powers, Martian powers, he just shapeshifts. Clothes. I'm safe. But the other guys are still stuck in their after the deal bodies. The sort of situation plays well for Christopher Lord, who's been in this world similar before, playing Varsity decade ago with Ray, but their bodies, they still have to maintain their own bodies instead of switching to each of the different characters' bodies, but their powers are different. And when Christopher Lord reaches his mind out using his Martian powers, he runs across Slade Wilson's mind. Slade apparently is here with Darkseid and Max Eisenhard, which we know as Magneto. He's supposing that they have different powers too, but Slade immediately starts blocking off his mind, and these guys they're further away, as if they've already left this science chamber underground here in Varsity. Varsity is like the city on Earth 6 previously, now on 206, where New York and Gotham of Marvel and DC are together as one city, as an island, and it's a weird thing I mixed up, but just to get the characters to play against the worlds that Batman and Spider-Man had, and or Marvel's New York, which has a lot more characters than just that are playing than just Spider-Man in New York City. So they do that. That they attempt to start trying to escape. And that's where we left them off on the early gaming. And then we go to Clefland, our fantasy gaming that we do. And it's still day 2, early in the morning. A lot of other things are being taken care of. We last left our heroes in Aslan, tropical city south of Mifflin, and built similarly to Mexico City, but more of a fantasy setting. John Jones and his family were there trying to settle down. His kid, Megan Jones, just comes back through this portal with, now she's married to Owen Reese's son, Adrian Reese, and they have kids together. Like, they were stuck in this world just over the few minutes in Clefland realm, but 6 years or so had gone by. So she's back with them and get reunited with her mother, Melody Guthrie, and yeah, you guys are getting on me about my ums. I'm working on it. As you can see, I'll say nothing instead, and it gets worse. So, anyways, then as the Jones family recoalesce, Floki and Chris Prentice, as well as Jupiter and his new wife, Dell, we're calling it that for short, get on board Juno, Seth Corso's ship, and Seth begins to take them back to their homes, which will mean stopping by Babelton on the way to Mifflin, where Seth is his family. Chris Prentice is here, and he is the scion of the March, far away from his father, but down here having adventures nonetheless. And then after we finished that, we went on to play Clefland. This is a coalesce of different things that had happened. Clefland gamed at different times. In Clefland, Triton, Carol, and Dolphin Moore, children of Andrew Moore from Marrakesh, have taken their lightning ship, Brent, and have arrived in Clefland. They contact Xander Hastings, the scion of the Count, and his sister Zara, and they meet up, kind of like in front of Ray's Rock House in America, in Clefland, which is more of Clefland, and we'll learn more as, comments. You guys want more, learn more, make a comment below. They walk from Ray's Rock House to the Tower of the Magister. That's where Xander has found out that he's got powers that can connect to this Tower of Magic, and it allows him to be able to go there easily. But he still goes through there the old-fashioned way by going through Hank's magic shop. And nobody can see the Tower of the Magister. It's like 60-some stories high, but it's invisible to the non-mage's eye, or a real powerful mage. But Xander and his twin sister Zara, Lord, can see it. So he brings Triton, Coral, and Dolphin into the place, and Triton's like, I got some problems. I think I need your help. I found all these people that have been turned into stone in an island off the coast of Marrakesh called Avalon. And I need your and your sister's magic help to try to figure this out. And these guys all grew up in the same blue planet together, or no, green planet, and so they know each other. Uh, Dolphin and Coral choose to go wake up Zara and then Crow. When Crow wakes up, the whole gang gets together and they start communicating on this possible adventure. Eventually join up to get on Brent and head to Avalon itself. They were the guys are trying to talk Zara, who has pretty much most of her mother's Zatanna's powers of spell, speaking backwards spells, which can cause spells to happen and therefore maybe turn these people into flesh. But she's like, what if they turn into solid flesh and there's no bones or anything? She's like really concerned about, hey, I could hurt somebody here, and I don't know if I really want to. The problem was Zara's thinking like, I've spent most of my life just using my magic skills to give me lame stuff that she just uses every day. I don't know, shower or whatever. Now this is when life is on the line. She's not too sure if that's what she wants to do with her powers right here. But the guys are trying to reassure, you can do anything. And which is, good reinforcement. And so they just got to Avalon. Now she's backed up against the wall. Okay, I said I'll do it when we get there. Now she's got to make that decision. So on to another part of the story is Carter Ritz. Carter Ritz is one of the children of the king, and he is Lord of the City Guard, Lord Commander of the City Guard. He gets his best guards together from the barracks, and then they head down to Arcadia. And there's a bar in Arcadia called Dracula's Daughter. Yes, I've taken that from Anne Rice, but the whole Arcadia is made up of hundreds of bars and taverns and whatever red light district sort of places, and they're all legendary. A lot of them are named from other places and other stories and songs that I've heard, and so they game around this. Well, it's not quite like Dracula's Daughter from Anne Rice, but in this place, it's a very spooky place, and it's been around for a while, where a lot of underhanded people usually are hanging out. Well, Carter has been told by his father, the king, that there's a dragon there, and they need to get this dragon out of town. Hopefully by not violence, but trying to coerce it to get out of town. The guards are with them, and for this little segment of role playing, Frank, Joel, and Alex played some of these extra guards. There was 3 guys and 3 girls in his elite guard. They just protect Carter as he talks to Chinsi, who is the dragon. He's shapeshifted into this Chinese looking dude, and it's very hard. He knows he's the dragon, but Carter can't do anything like to force his hand because the dragons will kill. And they think nothing of any of these mortals, even though Carter is far from mortal. He's got time spot powers and stuff. But eventually, Carter coaxes him out by paying him to leave the city. But as he's walking out, and at this time they're really not sure. I mean, he's never really said, I'm a dragon. He's like, no, I'm not a dragon. What are you, crazy? Dragons can't get in this city. They made a deal. There's no dragons in the city. Well, on the way out, some nobody bumps into Chinsi, and since he's so irate right now and pissed, he's going to be leaving the city. He's kind of off guard. He cuts this guy's throat with his fingers. And then the guards go into action. This guy's and he starts changing his form more into a Chinese dragon, not this huge mongoose thing, but smaller with its wings and everything. And he starts to head out the gate, the south gate of Cleflin, which is the walls are 60 feet high, and the probably about 60 feet thick is this wall, this tunnel that goes through. He starts heading there, but when he's going through when he turns into a dragon, dragon fear hits all of the regular pedestrian people of this planet of Cleflin, the land of Cleflin. They start freaking out and running everywhere. Oh my gosh, I gotta hurry up. Walking Dead's coming on soon. So, Carter says, that they try shooting. They wind up killing a donkey instead, thinking it might have the dragon shifted, and they try to kill dragon. It ain't gonna happen. This dragon escapes, but they're not sure. Did he really? And because he's a shapeshifter, Carter called his son Carter Jr. to come by to help out. Also going on in this city is Matt and Elise Morse Prentice. They arrive, they're half Martians, and they're brought here from their uncle, the Marquis. He uses time spots to bring them to their uncle Anders in the Elven Quarter. And that's pretty much what happened in Clefland. Next we go to the March. Well, in the March is, of course, the Marquis. And he is trying to get some of him and his brother's children in all the different cities so that they have a little bit widespread influence of the Elven March. And he helps, besides sending Matt and Elise down to Cleflin, he is sending John Morse Prentice to Hastings. So he uses the time spot in Avatalos, the tabernacle, and goes to the time spot in Hastings called the Skull Cap, and which is where he meets Tempest and Marie, drops off John Morse Prentice with them, and heads back to the March. Also going on in the March is in the town of Nolor, which is where Lord Connor and Jessica of the Elven Kents, with their kids Rollo, Cersei, and Lily. They take Lily creates these horses that they are able to ride to the nearby town of Zelda, which was previously inhabited by or occupied by the Camelot's troops for the last 10-20 years. And now that they're away from that oppression, Connor and them want to try to make things better for them. Cersei steps up to her father and says, "Father, I want to help lead this city. I know you have other towns that have experienced the same thing. I want to lead this one." So she's like 18, but she's wanting to step up and make something happen, changes. And Rollo, her brother's all pissed off and wants to go kill knights, but we'll see what happens. We last left other heroes in Hastings, mostly Count Marcus. He finally finds his Stuart Stephenson and hires him to work at his castle. And that's the gaming for this week. If you want to hear more, leave comments below, and subscribe if you like my stuff, or if you want to just make me feel better. Cool. Sige, salamat, adios, paalam. I'm trying to speak some other languages at the end of these things. Take care. Bye.